A journey to reinvent yourself, the Stoic way. 1. Feeling stuck? You're not alone. Hey there. Have you ever felt like life's just stuck? Like you're trudging through the same old routine day after day with this nagging voice in your head whispering, "Is this really it?" Maybe you're sitting there, exhausted after a long week, wondering if there's more to life than this endless cycle. You're not alone. That's exactly where our story begins, with a guy named Eric who's about to discover a way out of that rut. And trust me, if he can do it, so can you. Stick with me, because today we are rediving into an ancient philosophy that has been changing lives for centuries: Stoicism. It is not just some dusty old ideas from a bunch of toga-wearing philosophers. It is a practical, down-to-earth guide to reinventing yourself, starting right now. Let's go on this journey together and uncover how you can break free, find your spark, and transform your life from the inside out. Eric's story hits home because it's so relatable. Picture him. It's a cold, dreary evening, and he's just dragged himself through the door after another grueling week at work. His body's tired, but it's his mind that's really weighed down. He's caught in this loop: work, home, sleep, repeat, and it's starting to feel like a cage. Deep down, there's this quiet ache, a sense that life should be more than just going through the motions. Sound familiar? We've all had those moments when we look at our lives and think, there's got to be something bigger, something better. For Eric, that moment is a turning point. He's wrestling with two voices in his head, one's loud, bitter, telling him to just accept this is how life is. The other's softer, hopeful, urging him to carve out a new path. That hopeful voice? It's the one that changes everything. What makes Eric's story so powerful is that he doesn't just sit there stuck in despair. He remembers his friend Liam, someone who was once in a dark place but turned his life around through Stoicism. That's the spark Eric needs. Stoicism isn't about complicated theories or unattainable ideals. It is about taking control of what you can, your thoughts, your actions, your perspective. It's about realizing that the key to a better life isn't out there in some distant dream. It is right here, in the choices you make every day. Eric's exhausted, sure, but he's also curious. He's ready to dig into this philosophy that helped Liam, to see if it can help him break free from his routine and rediscover his purpose. This is where you come in. Maybe you're feeling like Eric, caught in a cycle that's draining your energy and dimming your spark. Stoicism offers a way out, not by promising quick fixes or overnight miracles, but by giving you tools to rebuild your life, step by step. It's about small, intentional actions that add up to big change. It's about shifting how you see the world, so obstacles become opportunities. So are you ready to take that first step? To explore how Stoicism can help you find your way out of the rut and into a life that feels alive, meaningful, and truly yours? Let's dive in and see where this journey takes us. The rut that started it all. Picture this. It's a cold, gloomy evening, the kind where the air feels heavy and the world seems to slow down. Eric's just dragged himself through the front door, his body aching from a grueling week at work. But it's not just his muscles that are tired. It's something deeper, a weariness in his soul that's harder to shake. You know that feeling, right? When life feels like a grind, each day blending into the next, and you start to wonder, what's it all for? It's like you're stuck in quicksand, sinking slowly into a routine that doesn't inspire you anymore. Inside Eric's head, a battle is raging. There's a loud, bitter voice screaming, "This is your life. Deal with it. This is as good as it gets." It's the voice of resignation, the one that wants him to settle, to stop dreaming of anything more. But then there's another voice, quieter, steadier, but impossible to ignore. It whispers, "You don't have to stay stuck. You can forge a new path." That second voice is like a tiny spark flickering in the darkness, cutting through the fog of Eric's exhaustion. It's not loud or pushy, but it's persistent, carrying a message that resonates deep within him. Real change does not come from waiting for the world to shift. It starts with you. It's such a simple idea, but it lands with the weight of truth. If you want to transform your life, you can't just sit there hoping for a miracle or expecting someone else to fix it. The power lies within you, in the choices you make, the way you think, the steps you take. For Eric, this realization is like a jolt of electricity. He doesn't have a roadmap yet, doesn't know exactly how to climb out of this rut. But something inside him shifts. That spark of hope, small as it is, feels like a lifeline. This moment is where Eric's journey begins, and maybe it's where yours does too. Think about it. How many times have you felt like Eric, trapped in a cycle that feels more like surviving than living? That quiet voice he hears, it's in you too, nudging you to believe there's more out there, that you're capable of something greater. Eric's not ready to give up, and that's what sets him apart. He's tired, sure, but he's also curious, ready to explore what that hopeful voice is pointing him toward. It's not about having all the answers right away, it's about refusing to let despair win. That's the starting line for change, deciding you're not done yet, that you're ready to take control and build a life that feels meaningful. So, what's that quiet voice whispering to you? What's the first step you could take to forge your own path? Eric's story is just beginning, and it's an invitation for you to start yours, a glimmer of hope through stoicism. So Eric's lying in bed, staring at the ceiling, his mind racing like it's running a marathon. The room's dark, the world's quiet, but his thoughts are loud, buzzing with questions and doubts. He's thinking about his friend Liam, that one person in your life who seems to have it all together, you know? The kind of friend who radiates calm and confidence, like they've cracked some secret code to life. That's Liam. But Eric remembers a time when Liam wasn't like that. A while back, Liam was in a rough spot, maybe even deeper in the hole than Eric feels now. He was struggling, lost, just like Eric is tonight. But something changed for Liam. Something big. Eric recalls him mentioning this thing called stoicism, a word that sounded odd and unfamiliar at the time. Eric doesn't know much about it, but the way Liam's life turned around, going from rock bottom to thriving, makes it impossible to ignore. That transformation is like a beacon, shining a light on the possibility that Eric could find a way out of his own rut. Despite being bone-tired, his body heavy from a brutal week, Eric feels a flicker of motivation, like a match struck in the dark. It's not much, but it's enough to keep him from sinking into despair. He lies there, thinking, if Liam could pull himself out of a dark place using this stoicism thing, why can't I? That question sticks with him, looping in his mind like a song he can't shake. It's a spark of hope, a tiny but stubborn belief that maybe, just maybe, he can change his life too. As he drifts off to sleep, that thought anchors him, fueling a quiet determination to learn more about this philosophy that turned Liam's life around. He's not sure where to start, but he knows he's not ready to give up. Not yet. Here's the thing. Stoicism isn't just some ancient Greek or Roman buzzword, like something you'd skim over in a history book and forget. It's a way of thinking, a way of living, that's been helping people find clarity, purpose, and strength for over 2,000 years. At its core, it's about focusing on what you can control, your thoughts, your actions, your reactions, and letting go of everything else. The stuff you can't control, the stress, the chaos, the things other people do or say. Stoicism teaches you to stop wrestling with them and focus on what's in your hands. It sounds simple, almost too simple, but don't let that fool you. It's powerful. It's like a mental toolbox for navigating life's storms. And the best part? You can start using it today, right now, with small, practical steps that don't require you to be a philosopher or a sage. Let's dive into how it works, step by step, starting with something we can all do to take that first step toward a stronger, clearer, more purposeful life. Start small. Win big. All right, let's get real for a second. Changing your life sounds like a massive undertaking, doesn't it? The kind of thing that feels so big, so overwhelming, it's hard to even know where to start. But here's the first big lesson from Stoicism, and it's a game changer. You don't need to flip your entire world upside down overnight. Zeno, one of the OG Stoics who helped kickstart this philosophy, said something that hits deep. Well-being is realized by small steps, but it is no small thing. Pause and let that sink in. It's like building a massive cathedral, one single brick at a time. Each tiny action, each small choice, might seem insignificant on its own, but stack them up and suddenly you've created something magnificent, something lasting. That's the beauty of Stoicism. It's not about chasing a complete overhaul. It's about the power of starting small and letting those efforts grow. Think about what you want for yourself. Maybe you want to be more patient, more confident, or maybe you just want to feel less stressed out all the time. You don't wake up one morning as a brand new person, like some movie montage where everything magically falls into place. Real change doesn't work like that. Instead, try this. Smile at someone genuinely today. Not just a polite half smile, but one that comes from the heart. Or when a friend starts talking, really listen. Put your phone down, tune in, and be present. Maybe do one small act of kindness, like holding the door for a stranger or leaving a thoughtful note for someone. These moves are tiny, barely perceptible in the moment, but they're like dominoes. One small action tips over the next, setting off a chain reaction that builds momentum over time. James Clear, the guy who wrote Atomic Habits, gets this too. He talks about how the smallest habits, like atoms, hold incredible power when you stack them consistently. A single push-up today won't make you a fitness guru, but do one every day, then 2, then 10, and suddenly you're stronger than you ever thought possible. Stoicism's the same way. Want to be more assertive? Start by speaking up on one small thing today. Maybe it's sharing your opinion in a meeting or saying no to something you don't want to do. Want to be kinder? Do one thoughtful act like complimenting a coworker or helping a neighbor. These little victories aren't just wins. They're the building blocks of a new you. Don't let the word reinvention intimidate you. It's not about chasing impossible goals or trying to become someone you're not. Stoicism teaches us to focus on what's right in front of us, not some far-off dream that feels out of reach. It's about taking control of the small moments, the choices you can make right now. Start small, stay consistent, and watch how those tiny steps ripple out, transforming your life in ways you never imagined. So, what's one small thing you can do today to start building your cathedral? Taming the anxiety monster. Let's talk about something we all face at some point. Anxiety. For Eric, it's like a dark storm cloud that's always looming, casting a shadow over everything he does. It follows him to work, home, even into his quiet moments, making everything feel heavier than it should. But one night, something shifts. Exhausted and restless, Eric stumbles across a book that flips his world upside down. Meditations by Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor who was pretty much the ultimate stoic. As he flips through the pages, one line hits him like a lightning bolt. Today I escaped anxiety. Or no, I discarded it because it was within me in my own perceptions, not outside. Take a second to let that sink in. It's a game changer. Eric realizes his anxiety isn't a T coming from his soul-crushing job or his monotonous routine. It's coming from how he sees those things. The problem isn't the world around him, it's his perspective. This is huge. Stoicism teaches that your vision shapes your reality. If you look at life and see nothing but a pile of obstacles, deadlines, conflicts, endless to-do lists, that's all you'll ever find. But what if you could shift your lens? What if instead of a battlefield, you saw life as a playground of possibilities? That's the Stoic secret Marcus Aurelius is handing us. Eric starts to get it. His anxiety isn't some external force pinning him down. It's a product of his own thoughts, his own way of interpreting the world. And here's the kicker. If he can change his perspective, he can change his entire life. It's like a door swinging open to a new way of being. Think of it like sailing across a vast, untamed ocean. From the shore, it looks terrifying. Waves crashing, horizons stretching into the unknown. No map to guide you. It's easy to freeze up, to stay safe on land where everything's familiar. But once you're out there, in the heart of the sea, you realize something. It's not the ocean you need to fear. It's how you steer your ship. Your thoughts, your reactions, your choices. That's what determines whether you're tossed around by the waves or sailing toward new horizons. Eric's starting to understand this. He doesn't need to become a different person to reinvent himself. He just needs to take the helm of his own mind. So, here's something you can try the next time anxiety creeps in, whether it's a knot in your stomach or a racing mind that won't quit. Pause and ask yourself, is this worry coming from the world or from how I'm looking at it? That simple question can be a lifeline. It is not about ignoring real challenges. It is about recognizing that your perspective has the power to make them feel like mountains or like stepping stones. Stoicism hands you the tools to steer your ship, to choose possibility over fear. For Eric, this is just the beginning, but it's a step toward breaking free. What's your first step going to be? Build a routine that guides you. All right, so Eric's got this tiny spark of hope flickering inside him, a small but stubborn belief that he can break free from his rut. But a spark alone won't light the way. He needs a plan to keep it burning bright. That's where routine comes in, and it's a cornerstone of Stoic wisdom. Seneca, one of the heavy hitters of Stoicism, put it perfectly. Life without a design is erratic. Picture your life like a wild, unexplored forest, full of tangled paths and hidden corners. Without a clear trail, you're just wandering, maybe even looping in circles, getting nowhere fast. But a routine? That's your compass, your guide through the chaos. It is not about chaining yourself to a boring schedule. It is about pointing your days toward the person you want to become, the version of you that feels alive and purposeful. So, how do you build a routine that actually works? Start by figuring out when you feel most alive, those moments when your energy and focus are at their peak. Maybe it's first thing in the morning, when your mind's sharp and the coffee's still warm. Or maybe it's late at night, when the world's quiet and you can hear your own thoughts. Those are your golden hours. Use them for the things that matter most to you. Want to be wiser, more thoughtful? Carve out time to read a book that challenges you or to sit quietly and reflect on your day. Want to be stronger, physically or mentally? Make exercise a non-negotiable part of your routine, whether it's a gym session, a walk, or even 10 minutes of stretching. The key isn't to overload your day with tasks. It's about designing your time around what fuels your soul, what brings you closer to your best self. Here's the secret sauce that makes it all click. Consistency. Think of a river. It might start as a tiny stream, barely noticeable, but the longer it flows, the stronger it gets, carving its way through mountains. Your routine works the same way. Those small actions, reading 10 pages a day, hitting the gym 3 times a week, or journaling for 5 minutes before bed, might feel insignificant at first. But stick with them, and they turn into a powerful current, shaping your life in ways you didn't expect. Consistency is what transforms a single step into a journey. That said, don't trap yourself in a rigid box. A good routine isn't a cage. It's a framework that grows with you. As you evolve, tweak it. Swap out habits that no longer serve you for ones that do. So let ESS make it real. What ESS one thing you could add to your day to move closer to the person you want to be? Maybe it's 10 minutes of reading, a quick workout, or even a moment to breathe and reset. Start there, and let that compass guide you. Eric's learning this, and you can too. Build a routine that's not just a schedule, but a path to a life that feels meaningful and true. Take charge and say, stop. Let's get bold for a moment. Ever heard of Dwight D. Eisenhower? Yeah, the guy who became President of the United States. Before he was calling the shots for a nation, He was battling a serious personal struggle, a 4-pack-a-day smoking habit. That's a lot of cigarettes, a lot of chains holding him back. But one day, Eisenhower did something remarkable. He gave himself an order: stop. And just like that, he quit. It wasn't just about kicking nicotine to the curb. It was about taking control of his life, proving to himself that he had the power to change his course. That's the kind of raw, transformative energy Stoicism unlocks. Epictetus, one of the great Stoic philosophers, nailed it when he said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." Those words are like a wake-up call, a reminder that true freedom comes from owning your choices, from deciding who you want to be and refusing to let anything else dictate your path. Reinventing yourself isn't about tinkering around the edges. It starts with a gut-punch moment where you decide to stop. Stop settling for a life that doesn't light you up, that doesn't make you feel alive. Stop doubting your potential, telling yourself you're not good enough or that change is too hard. Stop being a passenger in your own story, letting circumstances or other people steer the wheel. Take a second and think, what's holding you back right now? Maybe it's a job that drains every ounce of your energy, leaving you empty by the end of the day. Maybe it's a habit, like scrolling mindlessly for hours or clinging to comfort zones that keep you stuck. Or maybe it's a relationship that's more toxic than uplifting, pulling you down instead of lifting you higher. Those are your chains, but here is the truth that Stoicism drives home. You are the one holding the key. You have the power to unlock yourself. This isn't about small, polite tweaks or baby steps, though those have their place. This is about a decisive, enough is enough moment where you draw a line in the sand. Like Eisenhower staring down his addiction, you can give yourself an order to stop letting fear, complacency, or doubt run the show. It's terrifying, no question. Stepping away from what's familiar, what's safe, feels like leaping off a cliff. But it's also liberating, like shedding a heavy weight you didn't realize you were carrying. Picture yourself standing at a crossroads. One path leads back to the same old routine, the one that's been dimming your spark. The other? It's uncharted, leading to a version of you that's bolder, freer, more alive. Which path are you going to choose? Stoicism says it's not about waiting for the perfect moment. It's about taking charge of your choices right now and steering your life towards something new. So what's one thing you can say stop to today? Make that choice and watch how it sets you free. Free up your time and focus. Time. It's the one thing we all wish we had more of, isn't it? No matter who you are, rich or poor, young or old, there never seems to be enough of it. But here's a Stoic truth bomb from Epictetus that cuts through the noise. If you wish to improve, be willing to appear clueless or stupid in exchange for growth. Let that sink in for a second. What he is saying is that real growth means letting go of the need to look like you, we got it all together, and instead focusing on what actually moves the needle. We all waste time on stuff that doesn't matter, scrolling through social media for hours, binging the latest show, or getting sucked into pointless distractions like endless notifications or mindless small talk. It's comfortable, familiar, like slipping into an old pair of sweatpants. But here's the hard truth. Those habits aren't at helping you become the person you want to be. They're just eating up the one resource you can't get back, your time. Here's a challenge to shake things up. For just one day, track how you spend your time. Be brutally honest. Grab a notebook or an app and jot down every hour. How much goes to work, to sleep, to eating, and, to scrolling or zoning out in front of a screen. You might be shocked to see how many hours slip away on things that don't challenge you, don't spark joy, or don't move you closer to your goals. Once you've got that reality check, you can start making changes. Swap out an hour of doom scrolling for an hour of learning something new. Maybe a podcast that stretches your mind, or a few pages of a book that inspires you. Trade gossip or complaining for a conversation that lights you up, one that sparks ideas or pushes you to think deeper. This isn't about cutting out all fun. Life's too short for that. It's about prioritizing what actually matters, what aligns with the person you're trying to become. Stoicism teaches us to treat time like the precious, non-renewable resource it is. Every minute you spend on something meaningful, whether it's learning a skill, reflecting on your values, or building a habit, is a step toward reinventing yourself. It's like investing in a savings account for your future self. Those small deposits add up over time. So, take a moment and ask yourself, ask one thing I could cut out to make room for growth. Maybe it's trimming your screen time, saying no to commitments that feel like obligations rather than opportunities, or stepping away from conversations that drain you. Whatever it is, make the choice to free up your resources, your time, your focus, your energy. It's not about perfection, it's about being intentional. When you start treating your time with the respect it deserves, you'll see how it transforms your path, guiding you closer to the life you want to live. So, what's one small change you can make today to reclaim your time? Embrace the hard stuff. Let's talk about doing hard things, really hard things. Seneca, one of the great Stoic philosophers, had this wild tradition. Every new year, he'd plunge into the icy waters of the Tiber River. This wasn't some thrill-seeking stunt or a quirky way to kick off the year. No, for Seneca, it was about proving something to himself, about showing his spirit who's boss. That bone-chilling dive was a declaration of control, a way to remind himself that he could face discomfort head-on and come out stronger. Reinventing yourself is exactly like that. It's not about surface-level changes, swapping out your wardrobe or getting a new haircut. It's about transforming your core, like gutting an old house and rebuilding it from the foundation up. It's messy, it's tough, but it's how you create something solid and new. Here's the deal. Real growth doesn't happen in your comfort zone. It's tempting to stay where things feel safe and easy, where you don't have to risk failing or looking foolish. But that's not where change lives. Growth comes from stepping into challenges that scare you, the ones that make your stomach churn or your heart race. Maybe it's signing up for a public speaking class, even though the thought of standing in front of a crowd makes you want to hide under a blanket. Maybe it's committing to a fitness goal, lacing up your sneakers for the first time in years, knowing those first workouts are going to be rough. Or maybe it's finally sitting down to write that book you've been dreaming about, staring at a blank page and wrestling with self-doubt. The point isn't at what you choose, it's that you choose something that pushes you beyond what feels comfortable, something that forces you to grow. Every tough challenge you take on is like a hammer strike, chiseling away at the old version of you and shaping something stronger, more resilient. It's not easy, and yeah, there'll be moments when you want to throw in the towel. Your legs might burn halfway through that run, or your nerves might scream before that big presentation. But Stoicism reminds us that the best things in life, the things that make you proud, that make you you, are on the other side of hard. Seneca's icy plunge wasn't about conquering the river, it was about conquering himself. Every time you face something difficult, you're doing the same. You're proving to yourself that you're tougher than your fears, stronger than your doubts. So take a moment and think. What's one difficult thing you've been avoiding? Maybe it's a conversation you need to have, a goal you've been putting off, or a fear you've been dodging. Pick it. Face it. It doesn't have to be perfect, and you don't have to have it all figured out. Just take that first step into the cold water and watch how it changes you. Stoicism teaches us that the hard stuff is where the real transformation happens. So what's your Tiber River? Go jump in. Surround yourself with the right people. You've probably heard that saying, you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. It's one of those lines that sticks with you because it rings so true, and Seneca, the Stoic philosopher, would have nodded along in agreement. He wrote, "Associate with those who will make a better man of you." And that's not just ancient wisdom, it's a blueprint for building a better life. Think about it. The people you surround yourself with, your friends, colleagues, the folks you grab coffee with or chat with every day, are like the bricks in the foundation of your life. If those bricks are shaky, crumbling under pressure, or just not solid, your whole structure is at risk. But if they're strong, supportive, and aligned with who you want to be, they hold you up, helping you build something sturdy and lasting. Take a hard look at your circle. Who's in it, and what are they bringing to the table? Do they lift you up, inspire you, make you want to step up your game? Or do they drag you down, keeping you stuck in old patterns or negative vibes? It's not about judging people. It's about being honest with yourself. Eric, our guy from the story, found a spark of inspiration when he stumbled into an online Stoic community. He was soaking up videos, reading discussions, and diving into ideas that pushed him to think deeper, to question his habits and his choices. That's the kind of influence you need. People who spark your curiosity, who challenge you to grow, who make you want to be a better version of yourself. Not just cheerleaders, but folks who nudge you out of your comfort zone and toward your goals. This doesn't mean you have to ditch everyone who isn't perfect or cut ties with lifelong friends over a single flaw. Life's not that black and white. It's about being intentional with your time and energy. Seek out people who share your values, who inspire you to aim higher. Maybe it's joining a book club where you can dive into big ideas with like-minded folks. Maybe it's finding a mentor who walk the path you on and can offer guidance. Or maybe it's connecting with an online community, like Eric did, where people are wrestling with the same questions you are. How to live better, think clearer, be stronger. These connections don't have to be perfect. They just need to add value, to stretch your mind and feed your soul. Your circle shapes your journey in ways you might not even realize. The conversations you have, the ideas you're exposed to, the energy you absorb. It all molds who you're becoming. So, choose wisely. Ask yourself, who's in my corner right now? Are they helping me become the person I want to be? Or are they holding me back? If you need to, seek out new voices, new perspectives. Find your own Stoic community, whether it's in person or online, and let those connections push you toward growth. Who's in your circle, and how are they shaping your path? Don't fear change, embrace it. Change. It's the one constant we all face, yet so many of us dread it, clinging to the familiar like it's a life raft. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic emperor, cut through that fear with a simple, profound truth. The universe is change. Our life is what our thoughts make it. Eric, our guy caught in a rut, is starting to see this. He's realizing that change isn't the enemy. It is the path to becoming someone new, someone closer to who he wants to be. Reinvention isn't about wiping the slate clean or pretending to be someone else. It's about shedding the parts of yourself that no longer fit, like a snake sloughing off its old skin to reveal something fresh and vibrant underneath. It's not about erasing who you are. It is about letting go of what is holding you back and stepping into a version of yourself that is stronger, wiser, more alive. Think of change as an adventure, a journey into the unknown that's as thrilling as it is daunting. Every step you take outside your comfort zone, whether it's trying something new, facing a fear, or breaking an old habit, is a chance to grow, to learn, to uncover what you're truly capable of. It's like cracking open a book you've never read before, where each page turns into a new world, full of surprises and possibilities. The trick is to shift your mindset, stop seeing change as a threat, something to dodge or resist, and start seeing it as an opportunity, a door to something better. Be curious. Be open. When change comes knocking, ask yourself, what could I learn from this? How could this make me stronger? That simple question can turn a scary moment into a spark of excitement, a chance to explore who you could become. Of course, change isn't all smooth sailing. It can be scary, even disorienting. There'll be moments of doubt, times when you feel lost, like you're wandering in the dark without a map. That's part of the deal. It's supposed to feel uncomfortable. But Stoicism teaches us to carry a compass of resilience, to keep moving forward even when the path isn't clear. Every challenge you face, every hurdle you push through, adds a layer of strength, molding you into someone with depth, courage, and grit. It's like forging a sword in fire. Each test makes you sharper, more durable. Eric's learning this bit by bit as he embraces the idea that change is his ally, not his foe. So what's one change you've been avoiding? Maybe it's a tough conversation, a new goal, or a habit you know needs to go. It could be something big, like switching careers, or something small, like trying a new skill. Whatever it is, take a deep breath and step into it. You don't need to have it all figured out. Just take that first step. Stoicism reminds us that change is where growth lives. So what's calling you to change? Lean in and let it shape you into someone new. Clear the clutter. Say no. Here, as a game changer from Marcus Aurelius that can shift the way you live. Say no to the inessential. Picture your life as a canvas, one you're trying to turn into a masterpiece. If that canvas is cluttered with random splashes of paint, obligations, distractions, things that don't matter, you'll never have room to create something truly beautiful. We're all guilty of this, aren't we? Saying yes to too much. Endless meetings that could have been emails, favors for people who don't appreciate them, or distractions like scrolling through apps or chasing tasks that lead nowhere. Every time you say yes to something unimportant, you're quietly saying no to your own growth, to the things that could actually move you closer to the person you want to be. That's the trap Marcus Aurelius wants us to avoid. Imagine your life as a work of art in progress, one you're crafting with every choice you make. To create something extraordinary, you need space. Space for the things that truly matter, the ones that light up your soul and align with your purpose. Marcus Aurelius had a simple but powerful habit. He'd ask himself, is this necessary? That question is your guide, like a flashlight cutting through the fog of a busy life. Take a hard look at your commitments, your habits, your never-ending to-do list. What's on there that's not helping you become the person you want to be? Maybe it's a time-sucking app that keeps you glued to your phone for hours. Maybe it's a relationship that drains your energy more than it uplifts you. Or maybe it has a project or goal that sounded good once but now feels like it is going nowhere. These are the things cluttering your canvas, crowding out the space for what's next. Saying no isn't about being selfish or cold. It's about being intentional. It's about guarding your time and energy like the precious resources they are. When you say no to the inessential, whether it's a pointless meeting, a habit that's holding you back, or even a commitment you took on out of guilt, you were saying yes to something bigger, your growth, your purpose, the stuff that sets your heart on fire. It's like clearing out a cluttered room to make space for something beautiful. It takes courage to say no, especially when the world expects you to keep saying yes. But every no is a step toward a life that is more aligned with who you want to be. So take a moment and get real with yourself. What can you let go of to make space for what's next? Maybe it's cutting back on screen time, stepping away from a draining friendship, or dropping a project that's no longer worth your energy. Whatever it is, make the choice to clear the clutter. Stoicism teaches us that transformation starts with focus, with saying no to what doesn't serve us. Say no to the inessential and watch how it opens the door to a life that's vibrant, purposeful, and truly yours. Fall down. Get back up. Let's wrap this up with Eric's story, because it's a reminder that we're all human, and we all stumble. Just a week ago, Eric hit a rough patch, a real slump. His meditation habit, which had been grounding him, completely gone. Journaling, something he swore he'd stick to, forgotten, left in the dust. The gym, he hasn't set foot in there for days. He's feeling like a total failure, lying in bed, wondering if the great Stoics, Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, Epictetus, would look at him and shake their heads in disappointment. It's that sinking feeling we've all had, when you think you've let yourself down and blown your shot at change. But then, in a quiet moment, Eric remembers a line from Meditations that pulls him back. It is never too late to come back to your rhythm. Those words are like a lifeline, a reminder that a misstep isn't the end of the road. It's just a detour. We all fall off track sometimes. Maybe you miss a workout you promised yourself you'd do, skip a goal you were excited about, or let your carefully built routine slip through your fingers. It's so easy to spiral, to beat yourself up and think, well, I messed up, so what's the point? But Stoicism steps in with a different message. That's not the end of your story. Reinvention isn't about being perfect, about never faltering or having it all together. It's about resilience, about showing up again and again, even after you stumble. It's about dusting yourself off, forgiving yourself for being human, and taking one small step back toward what matters. That's the heart of Stoic wisdom: progress, not perfection. Think of it like coming home after getting lost in the woods. You don't need a grand, dramatic gesture to find your way back. No need for a helicopter rescue or a blazing signal fire. Sometimes it's just one small action that realigns you with your path. Maybe it's writing a single journal entry to clear your head, doing 10 push-ups to feel strong again, or reading one page of a book that inspires you. Those tiny moves, as small as they seem, are how you get back in rhythm. They're like picking up the beat of a song you love after missing a few notes. Eric's starting to see this. He's learning that a slump isn't a failure. It's just a pause, a moment to regroup and start again. Reinvention, at its core, is a journey of countless returns to yourself. It's not a sprint or a race with a finish line. It's a lifelong adventure, full of ups and downs. Every time you fall and get back up, you're building resilience, crafting a version of yourself that's stronger and more grounded. Eric's on this path, and you can be too. So, what's one small step you can take today to find your rhythm again? Stoicism says it's never too late to come home to yourself. Your journey starts now. Eric's story isn't just a singular tale. It is a reflection of the universal moments we all encounter when life feels stagnant, like a record stuck on the same worn-out track. We've all faced those days, trapped in repetitive cycles, wrestling with restless thoughts, or staring into a future that feels like a maze with no exit. Yet, Stoicism offers a clear, practical roadmap to break free and forge a path toward purpose and resilience. This isn't about transforming into someone new or chasing an idealized version of yourself. It's about peeling back the layers to uncover the strongest, most authentic you, a version that's been there all along, waiting to be refined. The power of Stoicism lies in its actionable simplicity. Start small, because grand overhauls often crumble under their own weight. Choose one tiny action. Maybe it's reading a single page of Marcus Aurelius' Meditations, jotting down a thought to clear your mind, or committing to 5 minutes of quiet reflection. These small steps aren't trivial. They're the foundation of lasting change, building momentum like ripples spreading across a pond. Next, focus on taming your thoughts. The Stoics teach that while the world may be chaotic, your mind is your own to master. When doubt or negativity creeps in, pause, challenge it, and reframe it. This mental discipline becomes your armor, helping you navigate life's storms with clarity and calm. A consistent routine is your next step. It doesn't need to be complex, just intentional. A morning habit, like journaling, a short walk, or a moment of gratitude, anchors you. It's less about rigidity and more about creating a structure that supports your growth. Then don't shy away from the hard stuff. Stoicism encourages leaning into discomfort, whether it's a difficult conversation, a daunting task, or a lingering fear. Each challenge you face head-on builds not just courage, but confidence in your ability to handle whatever comes next. Your surroundings shape you more than you might realize. Choose your people wisely. Surround yourself with those who inspire, challenge, and embody the virtues you value. The Stoics understood that no one thrives in isolation. A supportive community amplifies your progress. Equally vital is embracing change. Life is constant motion, and fighting it only breeds frustration. Instead, approach the unknown with openness, trusting your capacity to adapt. Clear the clutter too, both in your physical space and your mind. Simplify your environment, streamline your schedule, and focus on what truly aligns with your purpose. Falling off track is inevitable, but Stoicism isn't about perfection. It's about persistence. Each time you return to your path, you grow stronger. This journey is about becoming the best version of you, not someone else. So, don't just read this and nod. Act. Today, take one step. Read a page, cut a distraction, or connect with someone who lifts you up. The Stoics believed you have the power to shape your life, and they're right. If you're ready for more, our free Stoic newsletter is packed with insights to guide you. Here's to your journey, your rhythm, and a life that's truly yours.